What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and we are returning to the 1-year war and the manga Mobile Suit Gundam: The Origin. Last time, the Joaquin fleet began their attack on Solomon. Amuro got the magnetic coating upgrade on the Gundam, and Mirai expressed her feelings for Slegger. In this episode, we will finish the Battle of Solomon. EFF takes over the base and begins operation for the final push towards a Bawaku. So let's get into this. Slegger launches again in the core booster. Jims and Balls head straight for Dozel's command center. Hayato in the ball gets attacked. His right articulating arm is destroyed, and he is badly injured. Zacharellos and Gelgoogs begin an assault. Dozel and his men prep for the battle. He tells his men to abandon Solomon. They have all fought bravely and will be remembered. He says to know this: the blood of thousands of Zeon soldiers will be on Kycilia and Garen's hands, as they rather play politics than care for the people of Zeon. Hayato wakes up with Frau Bo by her side, giving him a blood transfusion. He is upset about not being on the battlefield fighting. Frau tells him that he fought well and Solomon is about to fall, so to not worry about it. But all Hayato ever wanted was to beat Amuro. She tells him that Amuro is different from them. Amuro is fighting when he gets a new type Lash. A giant beam cannon takes out the entire squad of Jims. It is the Big Zam. Amuro wonders if this is still considered a mobile suit. It isn't, Amuro. It is a mobile armor, you idiot. But during the 1-year war, this is the closest we've seen to a mobile fortress in battle. The only other thing that gets close to this is the Big Rang in Igloo, which was classified as a mobile bridgehead. The only co-pilot that matters is Meyer, although the character design looks different here. Meyer will go on to be Zenazabi's personal guard and plays a role in Shin Matsunaga's story. The Big Zam begins taking out EFF one squad at a time. Dozel tells everyone to abandon Solomon. He also tells his co-pilots to abandon ship and assumes all control to him. As Meyer gets a tow from a nearby Zaku, he salutes Commander Dozel, knowing what he is about to do. As Tiamen fleet joins the battle, Amuro hops onto Slegger's core booster. Big Zam approaches Tiamen's fleet. They think it is a ship, but it is too late before they realize it is a giant mobile armor. Dozel fires, taking out Tiamen's flagship and Tiamen in the process. He begins tearing through Tiamen's fleet. General Revel was captured under his command, and Dozel was the one to take out Tiamen. He really is the only commander that made a dent in EFF while everyone else was dicking around. Slegger tells Amuro to hold on as they rush towards Big Zam. They attack from below. Dozel quickly notices and uses his chicken feet to grab the core booster. Slegger ejects in the core fighter and crashes into Big Zam's thrusters, killing Slegger in the process. In the anime, he doesn't eject from the core fighter and is taken out in one blow by the chicken feet. The Gundam jumps up and strikes the Big Zam right in the cockpit. Dozel gets out of the Big Zam and begins firing at the Gundam. I always found it funny that he uses such a useless weapon, but that is entirely the point. The gun is doing nothing. It is the man himself. Dozel, on the verge of death, doesn't back down. Without anything but a gun, Dozel was able to make Amuro afraid. As Amuro sees Dozel's aura, the Big Zam explodes, killing Dozel. Char Zanzibar picks up Lady Zena and Minerva. They regroup with the rest of Kycilia's fleet. In the anime, the Battle of Solomon happens before the fight at Texas Colony, so it is Makuve who escorts Zena. Back on board White Base, Amuro informs Mirai of Slegger's death. She is in shock and awe. I think she bumps her head and accidentally knocks herself out. This addition makes this very sad moment hilarious. Good job, Kodakawa. Back at Side 3, Degwin yells at Giren for getting Dozel killed. He says it couldn't be helped, that he was a prideful man. But Degwin says, "He's your brother, idiot. Of course you knew that was going to be his course of action." Not only that, his plan involved using their forces as cannon fodder. Giren believes that EFF will go after Side 3 before a Bawaku. He believes that the death of Tiamen will prevent them from doing a full-out attack on their asteroid fortress. Considering they passed Granada and went directly to Solomon, it is safe to assume Granada is off the table. Degwin doesn't want to evacuate the people of a closed colony, but Giren wants to use the evacuated colony for the solar ray. There really was no leader to begin with, but he has gone from faux leader to full-on dictator. Degwin gives the famous Hitler speech, where he equates his son to Hitler from the Middle Ages. In the anime, we get the funny moment where Giren essentially says, that Hitler sounds like a great guy. But in the manga, he embraces it. He begins talking about cleansing the world, and refers to the people of Earth as Earthnoid parasites. He tells Degwin that a new type advanced party is heading to Solomon to test the new units. Giren tells him he will show him the kind of man someone living in Hitler's footsteps can accomplish. Back at Kycilia's Dolos, which is called the Purple Widow, Char introduces Lalah to Kycilia. She has been summoned to Side 3 and wants to borrow his Zanzibar. Her Her purple widow stands out and she is trying to not draw attention. Back at White Base, Amuro conducts a survivability test in the core fighter. He ejects Gundam parts A and B, but he isn't responding to Sayla's command. Sayla is back at her post after being taken off duty for being Char's sister. Amuro complains about not being able to handle Slegger's death. Minai is also back at her post, but she senses something. Sayla could sense it too. She tells Amuro to get the Gundam back together. Amuro can sense Lalah. A Magellan-class ship goes down. They can't get sights on the target. Bright calls back Amuro. Lalah begins attacking in the Elmith, while Char watches from afar in the Gelgoog. General Revel makes his way to Solomon, where he is met by the Joaquin force that took over the base. I dig these black EFF uniforms that I don't think exist outside of Joaquin's fleet, but I could be wrong. He is informed of the Magellan that was shot down outside of Solomon. Perhaps it is the restless soul of Dozil. This joke that Revel tells his men is most certainly the reason Lalah became known as the Ghost of Solomon. This is why you can't tell jokes these days. You just tell a joke and someone creates a superstition out of it. Ugh, humanity. White Base returns to Solomon, where most of the crew wants to check out the Xeon bathhouse built into the asteroid base. Amuro hangs back on the ship, where he once again hears Lalah. At the Solomon Command Center, the higher-ups plan their final push. They will head towards Abawaku and then veer towards Side 3, which will expose them from the Xeon asteroid. This is when Joaquin's 3rd Fleet continues towards Abawaku and holds off their forces. Revel will head towards Side 3, while Vice Admiral Togo's fleet support Joaquin. Togo is concerned as no matter how they allocate the resources, there isn't a way they can take on both Giran and Caecilia's fleet. He wants to not rush to a final battle, but Revel informs him of the weakest link theory. No matter how strong and intact all the other links are, if the wooden link breaks, the whole chain will burst. This was a common tactic of Lenin and the Bolsheviks. Whether it is warfare or the battlefield, the enemy is only as strong as its weakest link. This is Revel's plan for the final battle as well. He calls in Bright and informs him that he will be with Joaquin's fleet. Remember, Joaquin was the commandant of Luna 2 when they had their run-in with Char. Initially, Joaquin was going to have them arrested for giving military secrets to children, so there is some animosity there still. Revel calls this operation Star 1, which will better be known in the future as the Battle of Abawaku. Meanwhile, Sayla and her titties can sense another attack coming towards Solomon. A Magellan is attacked. Amuro too can sense a new type and goes out even though Bright isn't back from his meeting. He finds Lalah in the Elmith, and the two can instantly recognize one another. Caecilia and the Zanzibar make it back to Side 3, where she notices Bunch 3, aka Mahal, being turned into the colony laser. They believe this will be more powerful than the solar system. They dock, but Char's underling Mulligan is feeling tense right now. They go and meet Degwin about funding for Granada. She notices Caecilia easily, even though she is in a disguise. He is tired of dealing with Giran and doesn't want to resort to using the solar ray to win this war. He wants to take out Giran for the sake of his nation. Degwin says that Revel will meet him to discuss peace after he talked to him after the Battle of Loom. After the Battle of Loom, she did promise that she would help him in any time of need, but she lets him know that her Dolos is heading towards what Xeon calls the Geldova line. This is the link between Solomon and Side 1, which is currently in shambles after the 1-week war. At least Shangri-La survives. Ugh, what a trash colony. Why didn't that colony get destroyed? Would have saved a lot of headaches. Just saying. The focal point of the Geldova line is also where Revel and EFF is gathering before the final push. She says that once they begin engaging in battle, there is no chance for a peace treaty, and more lives will be lost. If he truly wants this, he has to act now. Degwin makes his departure in the Great Degwin flagship for the first time since the Battle of Loom. He plans on bringing peace to his people now that Caecilia will help him deal with Giran. Meanwhile, Caecilia contacts Giran privately. Her message simply says, His Grace is heading for the Geldova line focal point. End of message. She is backstabbing her father and telling Giran, knowing exactly what he will do with this information. However, she was also given orders to take down Giran, so she will continue to do so with her father also out of the picture. Imagine if this family actually worked together. Joaquin's fleet pushes out towards Abawaku. The battle is slowly starting to begin. Joaquin talks to Bright. They have intel that Giran is being held up in the asteroid base, and he intends to take control, which means EFF's assumptions that their forces were divided were correct. He tells Bright that he and his crew have grown since Luna 2, and so has Joaquin. He wants to put the past behind them and give them hell during this battle. Well, that rivalry ended quick. Someone's gonna die. Caecilia meets with Char, who just returned from the battle with Amuro. The two take a load off and have a drink. She tells him that there are no cameras or bugs in this room, so he can take off his mask. He does so, and Caecilia informs him that she is quite aware that he is Cassival Rem Daikun. She says that his actions around Garma's death was suspicious, considering he is an ace. But she says she even knew back in the days of him him being in the academy and switching places with the real Char Aznable. She wants to know what his plans are. Char tells her that after he betrayed Garma, he felt an emptiness to killing him. There really isn't a win in killing someone who trusted you. But the real truth is that everything changed when he became aware of the Flanagan Institute and met Lalah. Now, all he wishes is to live in a world where new types can thrive. This can't happen unless Xian wins this war. Caecilia forgives the man who killed his brother. Meanwhile, General Revel is eating when he is informed that the Great Degwin is approaching him. This is the second time that General Revel was interrupted while eating a meal, and I just want to say that I find it quite quaint that he never gets to eat. Giran is informed of Degwin's surrender and preps the colony laser. Captain Asakura is commanding the colony laser team. Giran meets with Asakura's team and informs them of their target, General Revel's fleet at the focal point of the Geldova line. That focal point is the point where Revel's fleet does a 90-degree turn and heads towards Side 3, right in the direction of the colony laser. White Base crew is having a briefing when Amuro gets a new type flash. Captain Asakura is ready to fire, but one Musai is blocking the light on the solar panel. Get out of the way! As the two warring armors prep to meet for peace talks, Giran fires the colony laser. And that will do it for this episode. But remember, we haven't had Lalah and Amuro's final confrontation yet, as it plays out during the operation. There are still 2 volumes to go, however. Next time, with Revel's death, General Gop at Jaburo begins to wonder if Operation Star 1 has a chance. We will see the fight between Lalah, Char, and Amuro, and Char will once again pilot No Legs, aka the Jiang. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember to fix the infighting and internal struggles of your nation and family before jumping into war. Peace.